What's going on, guys? That light, dude. That light. Hey, so we have two things to discuss before we get into the reaction to Money Games 3. I know it's not a disclaimer. I'm not here to scare the shit out of you. We're not doing any of that shit, okay? We're going to try and keep our political ideas mostly to ourselves. But there is stuff that we need to talk about. I have to give a shout out to the people that went above and beyond. Now, before I do that, your comments alone brighten my day. I cannot say that enough. I will learn to get comfortable when you guys want to give a little more, but I don't ask that of any of you. Please, only do so if you are in a position where it is easy for you to do so. But I need to read these comments out as, you know, we're going into Money Games. It's part of the game, baby. You guys are truly an inspiration. And in honor of every single one of you, I'm going to, because I have a private Discord that only has about 12 members, I'm going to start posting all of your guys' comments, the ones that make me smile and the ones that are supers, on there, so they will live for infamy on a little wall in a little hovel. And if you guys request it enough, I'll open up the Discord to all of you guys so you guys can come in. Just tread lightly, because it's where it's like my little hellhole where I journal all of my thoughts. I have messy political arguments. I share things. You know, it's as messy, as chaotic as my mind. But let's get into this, okay? Heslo donated $2.99, and she stated and said, with her beautiful voice, "Very unappreciated and moving song. Reminds me of towns in England in 1980, when they closed down the local coal mines and didn't make plans for the sudden unemployed population. While communities just you see, this is why it takes me so long to read things. I am bad up in the brain. Whole communities just cease to exist. The thing is, like Patreon, Ko-Fi, and Super Chats, I only have a limited income." Don't stress yourself, girl. But if I enjoy someone's content on YouTube and I spend the price of a cup of coffee to show my appreciation, I really won't miss it. And my little bit on its own won't make much of a difference. You are wrong to the creator, but the price of a cup of coffee for multiple people will add up. One day, hopefully, I can pay it forward. Yes. I mean, not even just like the money aspect of things, but like, let's say there's a 900-pound boulder and I want to lift that boulder. I mean, I might got the guns, baby. I don't, but I can't lift it alone. So if I go, hey guys, let's go all over there and let's lift that boulder together. Well, now we can pick it up. I will never ask for money from any of you. This is never going to be a channel where I'm like, hey guys, I can't make my month's rent. Please donate. I'm not going to do that. And if I ever do that, please en masse unsubscribe from me. Please, for the love of fucking God. I dream of the day that I can pay it forward. I swear to you I do. And even if you just give $1 or your time, because that's the most valuable resource of all, it means the world to me. That's why I try my hardest to respond to every comment. I'm gonna come up with a cute nickname for you, but I've already spent. everyone who gives anything like that, they're gonna be immortalized in my little hall of fame in my Discord. So we need to keep that going, so that people can not donations. I mean, just the memory of what is being done. And then as I was uploading my newest video, someone else did it. Came in uninvited donated $5. She said, keep smiling, heart. Check out Ren's spontaneous jam session. You'll love it. Well, you know me. I will. And I'll get to it very, very, very soon. Might have to ask around for a link or something to find out exactly, unless it's literally just named that. You guys, I don't know what to say, but enough of my feelings and stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna make a wall. I'm gonna save every single one of these, and we are going to. Oh God, why do I see my own face? Is there a way I can look at my videos without having to see me? I don't like. It's a good thing I don't have two monitors going, or else I would be able to. I would have to see my like live reaction. I have to physically click over to see myself. And oh, I just did it. Why did I do that? All right. Oh yeah, we're at 6 minutes. All right, it's time to get the ball fucking rolling. Let's do this, guys. Just so you guys know, thank you so much. You don't have to do that, please. If you are going to give, make sure you do it from a place where you're already comfortable. I don't want to hear a single word from anybody that they missed something because they were trying to lift my fat ass up, okay? I might be chunky, but I got the leg strength to do it. I got this. All right. I love all you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, let's do this. I was reading the comments before I got into it while I was letting my last video render. Money Games 3, the official music video. It's only a year old. Jesus, it has 10 million views. I am unworthy. I'm unworthy. All right, let's see what you got, Ren. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. That was absolutely gorgeous. Oh my. Oh no. If that happens multiple times throughout this video, I am not gonna make it through this. Oh my God. Oh, let's go back, Daddy. Also, I love his rings, dude. Like they just had just his hands exude so much fucking character. It's crazy. It's like waving, dude. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. There's a technical term for that, but that descending, like, oh my God, dude. I swear to God, before I do these reactions, I'm just gonna go look up all the actual technical definitions so I don't have to sound uninformed as fuck. But then I would sound way too fake and like as if I have a knowledge to a much firmer grasp on the knowledge of things that I'm talking about. But something that's really cool about the way he did that is not only is the camera work pulling it in and twisting it upside down and making it feel good, but like there was a time in old cinema where a piano was the only noise you had, and then like cue cards across the screen to tell you what was happening. And one of the instruments that they used like that was a piano, because pianos are so expressive. They are the ultimate instrument. A pianist has a direct link to God. Just saying. So what he did there, don't know the technical terms. Someone will probably let us know in the comments. But that's a common thing that you can do to like indicate falling or falling into madness. Oh, it's turning into a machine gun over here. I'm gonna go back the thing on Kickstarter so I can make these reactions even grosser. Start uploading on Pornhub. Get that cheddar. OnlyFans. Think about it. Such good camera work. Oh my god, did you see that fucking reflection and the way that it trails? Oh. The camera is literally following and keeping pace with the fucking music. As it's being chaotic, the fucking music is chaotic and bouncing back and forth as if you're taking a ball and slinging it on a wall and it's hitting like multiple corners or something. It's oh my god, dude. That's like ADHD personified in music and on camera. Like there's so much going into this. What the fuck, man? Holy Jesus. I now see why he has 10 million views on this one. Why was it like that? So wait, was that not initially Ren? And also, like, I'm so confused right now. But like, look at the acting here. Like the way this man is walking is so menacing. Like he feels like he's larger than life. And look at the fear on what I assume is Ren. I could be wrong. So much is expressed through body language. I think that's Ren playing the piano. People said he played the piano on this one, so that's probably him. Or this is Ren taking over. The reveal. Okay, yeah, all right. That was our bull. God damn, he is so gorgeous. Like, what the fuck, bro? It makes me so mad, dude. Like, you were so talented and yet so beautiful. And that's not even your best quality. The quality is that you're just a really good person. Ugh. I like that he lets moments breathe like this. It's so rare. As someone who is like a pedantic, pretentious soul, I never let the silence speak enough. Wasn't that the chorus in the last two songs? They told me it was kind of in this, but it wasn't in this. I could have swore. But also, like, look at the cinematography. Man, look, you're going to realize that I hate certain words, okay? But, like, just the camera work here is so on point. Even his face is 100% in character. Like, something as simple as adjusting his hair, it's demanding so like as if he's like being possessed by what he's about to do. I called it in the second video that it was like a live possession, and I stand by that statement more and more as I get more into like Ren's music. From when he's busking with the lads and he's being like literally taken over by a bassist, or when he's playing a character in the Tales series, he lives through what he's doing. And you saw that at its best in the Fred mashup, or Fred again mashup, I apologize. And like, as this other guy comes into frame, it's just haunting. There was so much swagger in that. What the fuck? Why was that so hard? That was so fucking hard, bro.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his...
Wait a second, Jimmy? Is this Ginny and Jimmy, right? Wait, I can't... No, his name was James. Right? I have not gone... I've only rewatched the Tales series one more time because people told me I missed a lot. So, like, I went back. There's no way.
Story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends.
As an American, we do pursue things in such a way that it devalues the human aspect of what we do. And as someone who's always wanted to be the best at what I do, because I'm not usually the best at a lot of things, like I've never been the best lover. Ask any woman I've ever been with, they will probably tell you, oh, we had to fake that O, baby. Also, like, you know, there's not a lot of areas where I get to, like, be number one. Well, and honestly, I never really get to be number one because I always find people that are better than me. And I usually associate with people that are greater than I. I try my hardest not to be the best person at a thing in the room because that's not a room that I need to be in. But we lose something in that pursuit, and that drive, and that desire. I mean, I'm from Los Angeles, man. I've seen a lot of people come and go. A world that eats people alive. Bright, hopeful individuals that tackle ever-fleeting dreams. They fall into bad crowds, do unthinkable things for their chance of stardom. They get surgery for their body. They become a slave to that desire, to that greed, to chase fame, to chase money, to leave behind a legacy. And the worst part is, we prop that society up. Me, you, everyone watching. We watch beautiful people do beautiful things. And it makes other people an attempt to become them change who they are. That's why Ren is such a beautiful man and a beautiful artist, because I don't think he gives a fuck. The fact that him and his #1 fan page on Instagram shared my ugly mug means that, you know, I don't have to be somebody that fits a certain mold to be accepted in this space with all of you guys. It's not about artificial things. But there are so many people out there that feel like they're not good enough, and they keep pursuing that same pursuit. And it all starts when we're children, and our parents, our grandparents, they all tell us to pursue great things. And it's not a bad thing to reach for the stars. But you can't forget about where you're reaching from. You can't live your life in the clouds constantly. You need to be present. You need to be around. And know that there are people in your life right now that care about you, that don't give a fuck about your money or your looks.
For 1, 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's
Alright, I'm gonna piss people off, and I'm not trying to. I'm not saying that his dad is right. Never will. That is wrong. Wholly wrong. But it's the people that eat it up, man. A lie that spreads itself. Just to dip my toe in politics just a little bit. There are people that watch this channel that are conservatives. And they listen to me preach and prattle on about how bad MAGA is. And how MAGA trades in lies. Which is not fair to them. It's not right to them. But I get so mad still. And I don't like to beat on them because it's not right. They're people and they just want to make the world a better place, no different than I do. I'm not saying the left isn't full of liars and deceitful people and evil shit. It is. And I've called that out my whole life. From political correctness to the censorship of people and cancel culture. And I've spent the better part of the last 15 years at war with the radical left. I have a myriad of videos here on this channel where I have negative responses from MGTOW to feminism to fat pride to so many other things. But like, Trump is just lying to you on all of it. You can just fact check it. You can just go in and look up the independent information and see that he's lying. You can see that he lied about tariffs. You can see that he lied about Epstein. You can see that he lied about FEMA funds and He lied about so many other things, but they're so stuck on the fact that the left was so unhinged for so long that they can't see past that. The world we develop are the ones that we create for ourselves. Yes, you can spread false narratives and fake news, but it's always up to an individual to sparse that out. We live in an age with information. AI is real. You can just ask AI to pull up the data for these things. Be like, hey, AI, ChatGPT, can you show me any studies that prove this theory correct? And then read it. Read the actual data. Now, some information could be biased, could be not done through a Puritan view. There are things that can muddy the water, but that's why you just have to be well read and read multiple sources. We build our own prison.
Luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25 and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
But he can only do those things because people value those things, right? Isn't that the problem? You don't have to buy drugs. Those markets don't have to exist. But we perpetuate those markets every day. I have a pipe right here. Think about how many lives could be improved if I just didn't smoke weed. I mean, I don't have any in it, but... Or how many lives could be improved if we just didn't drink alcohol? If we just didn't indulge in those vices? They would have less control over all of us. Now, it's not to say that alcohol can't do good. It can. There's nothing better than going out with a night with the lads and fucking having a moment of brevity with people that you genuinely love and have genuine affection for. But then when you use alcohol to run from every problem, or you're just trying to relive that night of greatness because you're so beat down by a shitty job that doesn't give a fuck about you, you start to use it as a vice, an escape. And in the Tales series, I alluded to the responsibility that we all hold. The way I developed that strategy, that way of thinking, was when I was 19 years old. And every time like a school shooting event or a murder event or something really tragic happens, I look towards myself and I think about what things I can do in my life to not exacerbate that. I don't own a gun. I don't want to own a gun. I should. Self-defense is an option. I live in a country with a lot of mad fools in it. But I'm not going to perpetuate a system that damages people, even if it means that the ultimate cost is myself. I don't participate in a lot of drinking almost ever, except when there's a good moment to have with the boys. There's more stuff I need to cut out, but our vices are what fuel this stuff. Our own id, our own drive, our own greed, our own darknesses, our own pursuit of self is what creates an environment for things like these to thrive.
Using grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. 35. He gets the call. I'm sorry, son.
What a fucking transition into his voice, dude. He's so expressive, dude. How the fuck can he do that? Is this one take as well? Yeah, actually, you know, I don't know why I asked that. I know it is. People told me he only had one outfit in the comments. Okay.
35. He gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36. Getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37. Eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38. With a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39. Getting reckless.
Chasing the dragon. And what a fucking... Yes, sir. That's how you... All those things I talked about, he's now covering. Now, I didn't go into the fact that trauma can do that, and trauma doesn't just happen when you're young. You can form trauma whenever. The idea that when you're chasing someone's approval so much, and then you never get it, and then you literally lose the right to get it, that could fuck you up. And the money game, the reason why they all wear masks is because they are complicit in it. We choose to be blind to the things we do. We choose to take jobs and break rules and break our integrity and break our standards that perpetuate a system that creates the environment that we're in. We are all complicit. I worked as a person for a bank before. And man, I used to get calls all the time about women or from men whose house had burned down, whose lives were ruined. And I was told so often that our customer is the bank itself, not the person on the phone. Your job is to not give them money as much as possible. I didn't last very long at that job because I did not give a fuck about the company. I get myself in trouble because when I sign a code of conduct or a code of ethics, I stand by it. When I have an assistant manager selling drugs out of my shop because he's addicted to cocaine, I kick him out of my shop. I don't give a fuck that he's, the brother of one of our top performing shops and the best friend to the vice president of the company. I kicked him the fuck out. And I paid a price for that. Where my name got slandered through the mud. And he went and told my customers, our fleet accounts, that I was doing shoddy work and cutting corners because he was mad and hurt. But I'm not going to allow someone to destroy the namesake of my shop and the men that work in my shop because this man wanted to sell cocaine out of my building that I'm working out of. My name may not be on the side of that building, but I'm the one sitting behind that desk talking with these customers. The problem is when you stand up for your morals in a world that doesn't have any, you won't have many people in your corner to defend you because everyone's caught in the same fucking game. And so many of us turn a blind eye rather than help one another. And you can't blame them because people got kids to feed. They got mouths that demand that money. It's a shitty system that eats people alive, and eventually they become numb to the decisions they make, and it gets easier to make them.
36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital.
Give this man and his team so much fucking credit. His acting is on point. His fucking vocal performance is outstanding. Even his lines that he's using reflect so deeply. But like, what a fucking cinematic flair, dude. Jesus goddamn Christ.
Grief of power, Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
So I talked a lot about ego, id, and the superego, though I didn't officially name them correctly because I'm a layman and I just play around with the terms. Something that really sucks about being a person is the way that we filter information. I've said it once before and I'll say it a million times, that we are not truth-seeking machines. People like Jordan Peterson will tell you that we like the pursuit of truth. It's not true. We do not seek truth. We seek comfort. And that comfort is what feeds our ego. Our ego is a very important part of who we are. It's the voice that tells us that we're worthy, that we deserve more than we have. And so often it's right. That when someone says something snide to you, who the fuck do you think you are? You don't get to talk to me that way. It's that self-defense system that feeds you into being a person. Without ego, you don't exist. You're a gray, amorphous blob that floats through the world and doesn't nab at anything because you don't want for anything. You don't deserve anything. Your ego is the voice that tells you you deserve things, that you matter, that you have value. But like with all things, when ego goes way too far, it corrupts you, much like greed, much like any other systemic system within you that helps you govern reality. The way that a person that has gone through these things, and the way that most of us internalize our trauma, and why therapy is a necessity for so many people, is because we start to blame the world for who we are. A man, much like Jimmy here, going through what he's going through, is going to often, through their ego, through their own filtered recollection of the world around them, even myself, I'm no different, like in my story about the guy selling drugs, there was probably a better way to handle that. There were systems that I could have gone through to get him taken care of without kicking him the fuck out of my building. I didn't have to be an asshole about it when I did what I did. I could have handled it with grace. I could have gone through the proper channels, notified HR, instead of saying, get the fuck out of my shop, and then having to deal with the ramifications afterwards. A person like Jimmy is going to be able to be very dark, and it's where you fall into nihilism and self-dread, and the whole world is out to get you. Hell, it was a place I was in not too long ago, where you look at everybody and said, man, if my father would have just loved me properly, I wouldn't be here. Or if my father had better words of advice, or if my father this, or my father that. If I only, the cartel is evil, what kind of people would fucking leave me like in a wheelchair? These are uncomfortable truths because they demand you to look at yourself, but your ego just won't allow you to be the reason for your pain. Your ego is trying to protect you because when people start stripping away that stuff, the darkest thoughts ring the loudest. And when the ego goes, and you no longer have that safety net, that self-protection, and you're face to face with the thing that you are and the things that you've done, it can lead you to dark places. Some that you may not be able to pull yourself out of.
buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
Such good acting. Like, you could see his face actually deflate right there. Oh my.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44.
What a beautiful tie-in to come back in a dark, twisted, fucked up way. One of the coolest thing in writing or anything is when you reuse previous elements. And the instruments are quiet enough to where they're haunting and ethereal and beautiful, but the emphasis is still on the words. And just on a side note, I'm a person who used to love to run, and there's a scene in Arcane when Victor gets the first opportunity to run again. I can't tell you how much joy that fills my heart with. You can hear the fucking rage in his voice also. God damn.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold, but those rich...
Fuck, that's beautiful, bro. The duality of such soft, somber noises mixed with such a harsh vocal cadence and vocal performance. My pretentious little nerd is just losing it in here, guys. Like, you guys can't see it, but like, I'm all aflutter.
42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold, but those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me, and it's a version of him.
Oh my God, Ren. His example is an exaggerated version of me. Fuck. Who would have thought all that time ago when I made that little statement how bad I needed to be introduced to this man? I can't believe I was fearing this video. All right, come on.
Gold inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me, and it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music.
God, dude, that fuck the money and fame. Whew. Okay.
Is exaggerated versions of me, and it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
What a shot.
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise.
So, in the comments in the last two videos of the Money Game series, I defended greed. Now, I defended a sliver of greed. Many people took that as I defend greed, which is never my argument. By any means, I would say greed is bad. It's the basis of evil. But I pose to you a conundrum. I said it probably in about 2 to 3 comments to people, but not everyone reads those. Let's say Jimmy didn't have this horrific fate. He spent his life destroying lives, killing people, selling drugs, weapons. Became a senator, got his toes dipped in terrible shit, spread bills that took funding from schools and funding from medical research that could save lives. He's directly responsible for so much pain, so much suffering. He was caught in greed in a way that I don't believe he can be reconciled. That kind of evil, that kind of pain, how could he ever do anything good? But then, let's say, he gets shot, like he does in this song. He gets trapped in a house, had countless lovers probably because he might have, got a few prostitutes pregnant. People he hid away from the public because he didn't want it to affect him. So the kids grew up probably without a father, with a few paychecks here and there, but never anyone around. Or maybe he left them out to starve because the women wouldn't get an abortion. So in his old age, as he grows sickly, dying, no one to care for him, he starts to strip away his ego. And he starts to see the monster that he was, the pain that he caused. So in some futile attempt to reclaim some kind of good in his life, maybe selfishly, maybe still fueled by that exact same ego that caused him to cause all of that pain, he starts looking for altruistic things to do. He starts donating to hospitals. All that wealth he accrued because he doesn't want to leave it to his kids because they're not there for him in his time of need. Still selfish to his bitter end. He starts donating to breast cancer and adding new wings to hospitals that specialize in patient care or like children care or prenatal diseases. He donates 20, 30, 50, 60 million dollars. It doesn't absolve him for his crimes. And he'll probably, if hell is real, burn in hell for the choices he made. And he even probably went through hell in life in his own fucking darkness for the things that he did. But the people that he helped, the lives that he saved through his actions, tell a much larger story. To a handful of people that are alive because of the decisions he made, they might call him hero. It's perspective. It's rare. No one is wholly good. No one is wholly evil. It's a balancing act at the end of your day. And we're all so caught up in our own worlds and our own problems and our own version of reality, our own truths, that it's so hard to see into others. Ren is a beautiful soul. And he deserves every accolade he gets. But I assure you, there are people he's hurt. People that haunt him today. People that he let down. Maybe that's why he's so caring and giving in his pursuit now. So many lives were saved because of Joe. But even Ren, a man as magnificent and as mythical as he is, has skeletons in his closet that we will never know. So just be careful when you throw shade at people, even if that shade might be justified. Even if it's the catalyst they need to make change. The reason why Christianity has a few things behind him that's not so bad is the line, what is it? He who is without sin may cast the first stone. Christians today abuse their religion, but that is a beautiful sentiment that we could share for everybody. We bear responsibility for everything. And it's as if Ren peered into my mind and grabbed my soul and is telling the story that I've been yelling at people my entire life. Just no one was willing to listen. I am so glad Ren did this. I'm so glad you guys pushed me in this direction.
We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix,
Mouse.
you can.
Reactivate.
First up,
What a song. What a story. It's in those moments where me and Rin differ ever so slightly. Rin took the story of Jimmy here and told the story that I would have told to the cop in Jenny's Tale. And I would have told the story of a guy trying LARPing as an altruist to patch up a failed life taken by a sickness maybe that he might have even created. It's in those subtle differences that I can appreciate the way that Ren views the world and the things that he talks about and the things that he says. Ren has a unique view of everything. And it's so powerful. And I'm so glad he has the courage and bravery to share it. It makes the world a better place when people are talking and pursuing actual truth, where perspective is important. Because who we are is filtered through so many layers of who we believe we are to be. There are so many thinkers throughout the past that have tackled such things that are worth your time to read about. There are even Stoics that I'm fully in love with. Marcus Aurelius is a tremendous joy. But even warrior poets that have lived through the Sengoku era of Japan, such as Keiji Maeda or Musashi Miyamoto. Such wisdoms have been gleaned from darkness that it can make the world a truly beautiful place. But in order to... Oh my god, dude, I haven't seen that song in fucking forever. Hotel Books Part 1 and Argus Part 2? That's a video one of these days. In order to enjoy the beauty of a thing, you must see things at its worst. If all of you see is beautiful things, the beautiful becomes benign. It just becomes another part of the surface. This was a good song. It wasn't just a good song, it was a good music video. It was a good expression of the human condition, of the soul that beats in every single person. And I hope that when people watch something like this, they don't just hear the story of a bad man that did bad things because of a bad dad. I hope what they take away from this is that we are all capable of such darkness that it is truly haunting. That it is truly a heavy cost. Our freedom doesn't come from what we glean from the world, but it's what we give to it, what we leave behind. We shouldn't define ourselves by our own ego. We should define ourselves by the people that are in our lives that tell us daily about who we are. And if you don't like what you're hearing from other people, maybe there are elements of your life that you need to change. Maybe you need to change something about yourself or change something about your environment. Perception is reality, unfortunately. The way people perceive you is the way that you are. To some degree. There's always layers and complexity in everything. We are all stuck in the money game. Thank you. I'm going to probably respond to as many comments as I can. I'm going to kick back today, work on chapter 25 of my book, and I'm going to pontificate on a bunch of things. And dare I say, I'm even inspired after doing the Money Game trilogy to do another Letters to Myself, which I might release today if I finish it up. Dare I say. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah. I got a lot to think about. God damn, an hour. Oh no. Oh no. I did it again. I'm a monster. Don't eat me up too hard in the comments.